It nurtures us, sustains us, and carries us through life. For many, water welcomes us in baptism. When life's journey is complete, we may now return to the earth through water, becoming part of nature's eternal cycle. For over a century, Miller Funeral Home has served families with compassion and respect. We're proud to be Georgia's first and only funeral home to offer Aquamation, a modern, gentle end-of-life option. Aquamation, because the future deserves better choices. To find out more, visit miller-funeralhome.com.
This is Dave Pollard with the investment firm Raymond James. If you're planning on retiring soon, if you have new assets to invest, or you simply are looking for better returns on your money, please call me at 770-834-4455. Through the process of understanding your individual needs and station in life, Raymond James has the investment plan that is tailored just for you. So visit our website at raymondjames/Partners Financial Group or call our office at 770-834-4455.
National headlines and the local stories you care about. WLBB, Carrollton, News Talk 1330, FM 106.3.
And good morning. Welcome to the Community Voice. I'm your host, Josh Engel. Today is Wednesday, July 29th, and today our guest from Tanner Health, Tanner Healthcare for Children, Sarah Valdes, certified nurse practitioner. We're certified pediatric nurse practitioner. I actually meant to write that down. We're going to be talking about Tanner Healthcare for Children. Keep your kids healthy in this back-to-school season. Sarah Valdes, who is, again, a certified pediatric nurse practitioner, is a pediatric nurse practitioner. See, I did that. I did both. I went ahead and read the acronym and that. With more than 20 years of experience caring for children and their families. A Florida native, she earned her graduate degree from the University of Central Florida and is passionate about helping children thrive through every stage of development by providing compassionate, family-centered care. Sarah, her husband, and 3 beautiful daughters have called Carrollton home for the past 3 years, and she is proud to serve families throughout West Georgia as a provider at Tanner Healthcare for Children. I do want to let all of our listeners and viewers know that this morning's episode with Sarah Valdes is currently being live streamed on our WLBB News Talk 1330 Facebook page, as well as our Grata Communications YouTube page. So if you'd like to share the link to that, spread the good word about all the awesome things that Tanner Healthcare for Children are doing, be sure to share that on your social media and celebrate Sarah and me. Not so much, though, but mostly Sarah. Sarah, if it's all right, let's jump right into it, because I know we got a lot to talk about. School season's just around the corner, and I know just from all my friends who are parents that, man, kids get sick quick. You know what I mean? They come back and they start spreading all their germs. So we're going to talk about ways to avoid that as families get ready to head back to school. What are some of the most important things parents should be thinking about when it comes to their child's health?
Yeah, so the first thing is really to make sure that your child is up to date on their well visit exams with their pediatrician. That is where we catch a lot of things like the need for glasses. We will check their hearing, their vision. We will update them on any vaccinations that they need as they head back to school. We monitor their growth trends over the years and their vital signs, like their blood pressure is one of the important things that we're monitoring over the years. So making sure they have that scheduled as they head back to school and get that in before homework and all the activities build up. Could you speak a bit more on the blood pressure? I guess I never think about that, like kids and monitoring blood pressure. Yeah. So in children, sometimes an elevated blood pressure could be related to heart disease or even kidney disease. So it's an important vital sign that we definitely monitor as kids are aging. Dig it. So I was wondering, if it was a psychophysiological thing. Like I wondered if it was like a stress thing, but I see it could genuinely be indicative of some legitimate health issues. Yes. Yeah. Some kids will come in with white coat syndrome, meaning their blood pressure increases the second they walk into a doctor's office. But sometimes it can indicate something else going on. And so we want to make sure we're catching that.
Absolutely. Yeah. My mic unplugged. Sorry about that. Yeah, my dad has white coat syndrome. It takes like 3 rounds of checking his blood pressure till we get an accurate reading.
Right.
But then, we'll eventually get there.
Yes.
So well child visits. So why are annual well child visits so important? Like, even if a child seems perfectly healthy, they should get these?
Yes, absolutely. Part of it is just establishing a rapport with your physician or nurse practitioner or PA that you are seeing. It's helpful if something goes awry to already have an established provider that knows you as the parent, knows your child. This is where we start talking to kids, especially as they're getting older, about prevention, when they're younger. The home safety, car seats, helmet wearing, their nutrition, as they get into the adolescent time. We like to have confidential conversations where we can talk to them about drug use and sexual activity, and all of those things are important, even if they are a healthy child.
Yeah, I mean, yes, absolutely. Like that comfortable, safe discourse to be able to talk with a doctor they trust.
Yeah.
Let's park on that for a second, because before the show, you and I were talking a bit about Disney and how cool Disney is and all the different attractions we like and comparing it to other theme parks.
Yes.
Does that kind of thing come in handy, like when it comes to relating to kids? Because, I mean, every kid loves Disney.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe you could speak a bit to the way that you connect and establish trust with the patients, with the kids that you talk to.
Yes. My favorite families are my Disney families.
Yo.
We have a mutual love for the parks, and so I'll make a note on their chart that this is my Disney. These are my people.
You draw a little like Mickey Mouse.
Right.
Love it.
Yeah. So it's fun to talk about what kids are into, whether that be Paw Patrol when they're little 3 and 4-year-olds, and then as they're getting older, what books they're reading, what movies they're into. And Disney's a big part of that.
And it helps you have 3 kids yourself.
Yep.
So they kind of help keep you up to speed. Hey, Mom, just in case you need to know about, Ooh Gabba, whatever, you know what I mean? Or Paw Patrol, or what's that pig? Peppa, like any of that.
That's pretty old school.
Is it old school?
Yeah,
so you can tell I'm out of the loop.
Yeah.
I don't know what kids are watching these days.
Yeah, a lot of Miss Rachel.
Okay.
My kids never watched Miss Rachel, but she's a big part of the little one's years right now.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, you're tuning in here. Your kids are going to appreciate this. You don't know what she's talking about, but the kids are going to appreciate that a lot, and they're going to feel so safe and comfortable. I love that. So, all right. So, what are some things that happen during a well child visit that parents may not realize?
Yes. So we're tracking their growth, their height, their weight. We're, like I said already, we're checking their hearing, their vision, making sure that we're catching. If a kid needs glasses, they might not be able to tell you, hey, Mom, I'm having blurry vision, or I can't see the board at school. They might not offer that information. So we're trying to catch those things in the office. What was the question that you asked?
Oh, I'm sorry. Just things that happen during a well child visit parents may not realize. That's a good one, though, because, it took me years to tell my parents. I just assumed that writing was blurry or pixelated, you know what I mean,
right.
for a long time.
Yes.
So that's something parents may not realize.
Yes. Yeah. And, we do a full head-to-toe exam on them and, talk to them about what's going on. Mental health is a big aspect for that, especially as kids get older, like what their social media use looks like. And so a lot of that at Wellness is about prevention.
Isn't that great that we've incorporated, in the toolbox, like mental health discussions? Because, we're children of, the 80s. I didn't have a lot of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was pretty much like, a doctor smoking or something like, yeah, you're fine. So it means a lot to be able to give the parents at home that assurance, that there's nothing that's going to be missed. They're going to make sure that you guys talk about everything. Yeah. So, all right, healthy sleep habits. I watched something recently. Dr. Kenneth Walker, a sleep expert, was discussing how just losing an hour of sleep can directly impact this, and this. Even changing when we do the daylight savings time and we take an hour away or whatever. That heart attacks and things increase. You see sleep habits are incredibly integral to a healthy and well-performing person.
Yeah.
Why are many kids have completely different sleep schedules during the summer.
Yeah.
So how can parents help their kids transition back to a school routine? Because, these kids got to get up at like 6 maybe or even earlier sometimes.
Yeah. Yes, this is a struggle that as a parent myself, we are starting to as we have 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks to go for Carrollton, we are adjusting our routine to get us back. One important thing is that if you are heading back to school, kids really need to adjust their routine a few weeks before they go back. Trying to do it the weekend before school starts is going to not be a good time for anybody. And so really the recommendation is to start waking them up 15 minutes earlier every morning, and you then hope that the bedtime routine will adjust as they wake up a little bit earlier every day for a few weeks.
Nice.
So children age 6 to 12 need about 9 to 13 hours of sleep a night, and older kids 13 and up, they need 8 to 10. And a lot of the children that I see, especially our teenagers, are getting 6 maybe. And so it's huge importance to prioritize sleep in your child, especially as they head back to school.
Perfect. Thank you for that information. I had no idea that kids that young. Makes sense though. Their bodies are working overtime trying to develop and grow, and I mean they are out here building a whole human.
Yes.
So they need what is it you said, 9 to what?
So 6 to 12-year-olds need 9 to 13 hours of sleep.
Dig it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm 6 to 12 because I love me some 9 to 13 hours of sleep. How about that? All right. Time is 8:40. We're going to go ahead and knock out that first commercial break, but when we come back, we will continue our conversation with certified pediatric nurse practitioner Sarah Valdes as we discuss Tanner Healthcare for Children. Keep your kids healthy in the back-to-school season. Community Voice, as always, is brought to you by Tanner Health.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
And we're back to the Community Voice, Wednesday, July 29th. We're live streaming this morning's episode of the Community Voice with certified pediatric nurse practitioner Sarah Valdes on our WLBB News Talk 1330 Facebook page, as well as our Grata Communications YouTube, as we discuss Tanner Healthcare for Children, keeping your kids healthy this back-to-school season. Be sure to share the link to the live stream on Facebook or the YouTube page, and you can share it to your Facebook, spread the good word, let all your parent friends know all about some of these great tools and techniques to help get your kids ready and healthy for the school season. So, all right, Sarah, let's jump right back into it. We talked about sleep. Mm-hmm. Kids need 40 hours of sleep a night. No, not really. 9 to 13 if you're 6 to 12. And then beyond that, you're going to need 8 to 10. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about nutrition. So how important is breakfast when it comes to helping kids succeed in school?
Yeah. Breakfast is incredibly important. Our kids' brains run on glucose. So if they've gone 8 to 10 hours and they've been sleeping and they've been fasting, we know the data supports that they need for their mood, for their attention, for their behavior in class to eat a healthy breakfast. And so it is very important as you're on the go. I know the morning times are chaotic. At least it is in my home. So having something that could be grab and go, whether that's a piece of toast with some peanut butter on it that they can literally eat in the car on the way, a yogurt bowl with some fruit on top, something with some protein, some fiber that's going to sit in their little bellies and help them concentrate as they head off to school is incredibly important.
Awesome. And my next question was going to be, what are some things you'd recommend? Mm-hmm. Yogurt with some fruit, a piece of toast with some peanut butter on it.
Eggs, a hard-boiled egg.
Get a little egg.
Grab and go.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's tremendous. Maybe don't hit up to Cracker Barrel on the way to school. Maybe don't get 10 biscuits or something.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah,
because that 9 to 13 is going to turn into 16
yes.
real quick. They're going to have the itis.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, what are realistic ways that busy families can encourage healthy eating during the school year? You mentioned making meals on the go.
Yeah.
But maybe we could speak a bit about like school lunches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if your kid's going to pack a lunch, it's important to get them involved in the decision making so that you don't pack them a lunch that you then throw away when they come home from school. So I would recommend taking them to the store, talking about shopping the outer aisles of the store. That's usually where your fruits and veggies are going to be. Making a plan where in our home you get to have a fun food in your lunch, but we're also going to incorporate, again, some protein and some fiber. And
There's
so
cheese sticks.
exactly. Cheese sticks, turkey roll-ups, the fruit, carrot sticks, cucumbers, all of those things are important, but to let them have buy-in. So they need to participate if they're packing a school lunch. And then as soon as they get home, having a healthy snack ready to go when they walk in the door. And then family dinners are incredibly important for kids' mental health. And so no family is going to get it perfect, but trying, 3 or 4 nights a week to have family dinners, we know helps kids.
Why is that? Is it because they have that comfortable, safe opportunity to kind of debrief from the day or the week?
Yeah, that's where families connect. Kids often learn eating habits as they sit at the table. They see their parents hopefully also eating healthy foods. And so, life stories come up, how their day went. That's just natural bonding that occurs around the table.
Screens or anything at the table? Or no?
No. Including
That's
their
what
dad.
I was hoping.
He also needs to put that away.
Yo, Dad. Don't be getting on the phone now.
Yes. So the parents need to be modeling that behavior of screens.
And it's great because it's an opportunity to actually be a part of conversation.
Sure.
They can see their parents adult-like navigate conversations, right? Be social, maybe manage.
Look at each other in the eye.
Look at each other in the eye. A lot of kids don't look at each other in the eyes anymore. It's very strange. So this can encourage and foster that. Some of you are listening. I know you're taking notes because this is get the family dinners going.
Yes.
All right. So preventing illness. That's a big part of our conversation today. Once school starts, it seems like, every germ, any funk that's out there that's floating around, it's probably going to come home because you got all these kids meeting together in one spot. What can families do to help reduce the spread of that illness?
Yeah. Every year we have a little bit of a lull at work as the kids go back to school, and then we know about a week or two into the school season, everyone's going to come in because they're all sick. So reminding your children about germs and encouraging them to wash their hands before they eat, after they go to the bathroom. It can be helpful, especially with younger children, to practice washing their hands. So they learn they need to be counting their ABCs twice while they're washing their hands. It's important to keep up with their vaccines, and especially as we enter flu season soon, to be getting your children their yearly flu vaccine.
Okay. So, how can you tell, as a parent, when you need to keep the kid home? Yeah. Because I know kids are tough, but when should you call it and say, look, I can't take them to school? Yeah.
So a fever is defined as 100.4. So at that point, general guidelines would say if your child has a true fever of 100.4 or higher, they need to stay home until they are fever free for 24 hours without medicine, without fever reducing medicine. Another thing to think about would be if your child is vomiting or has had diarrhea. Those things are often incredibly contagious. And so keeping them home for 24 hours after the last episode would be another guideline. Yeah. Coughs, sneezing, all of those things. If they're not accompanied with a fever, your child is generally acting like themselves, they can probably go to school.
Perfect. Okay. Also, if they're throwing up and stuff, the janitors appreciate it. We thank you.
Yes. And the teachers and all the other parents.
Oh, the poor teachers.
need to be at work. Yeah, they all.
I can't imagine.
Yes.
So let's talk about the Battle of Waterloo. Some kids in the back throwing up. So keep them at home.
Yes.
All right. Well, mental and emotional health, I love, as we touched on earlier, I love that that's part of the conversation now. That's integrated, into this conversation, a full spectrum health approach to these kids. So, going back to school, it's not just a physical adjustment, it's an emotional one. Yeah. What are some signs that a child may be struggling with anxiety or stress? And how can parents help with that, help make that transition a little easier?
Yeah. In our younger kids, we'll often start to see maybe some regression. For very young ones, maybe they were potty trained and then they start having some accidents. That would be one thing. You might start to see a little bit more clinginess struggling to leave the house, struggling to say goodbye to mom and dad in the morning. And oftentimes for little ones, they'll start to complain of some vague tummy pain, maybe some headaches, and there's no clear medical reason for it. That would be something that would be a little bit of a flag of maybe we need to check into this. Our older kids, oftentimes we'll see them withdrawing.
Sure.
They just might be more irritable and angry. So those would all be things, sometimes an older kid, they really have enjoyed playing soccer and now they don't want to go out and do that anymore. Or they like to hang out with their friends, but you notice a change there. They're not doing that as much as they were before. So those things I would be checking in with our children about.
So as far as like parents making it, helping make the transition a little bit easier, would it be, to address the things, you don't want to smother them, but at the same time, I guess you should maybe address the behavior, like, maybe dig a little deeper, like, hey, what's going on? Like, is your tummy hurting because, you did this, or is it because, you're a little anxious about seeing somebody at school? How should parents handle it?
Yeah. In our home, we've been asking our children as we get ready to go to school, what are you most excited for? What are you most anxious for? What are you nervous about? What are you worried about? So just being a safe place that they know that, hey, we know as your parents, this is anxiety producing. This is a big change. And we want to be here to listen to that. Telling our kids, this is going to be fine is usually not helpful. So acknowledging their anxiety, saying, yeah, I get that. That makes sense. I would feel anxious too. That can be helpful. Talking to them, giving them an open door to come talk to you, knowing that this transition is a big deal in kids' lives is really helpful.
Perfect. Well, time is 8:50. Time flies when you're having fun. We're going to go ahead and knock out that last commercial break. Before we do, I do want to remind folks, for more information about Tanner Healthcare for Children, their office locations, and physicians, you can visit tannerhealthcareforchildren.org. That's tannerhealthcareforchildren.org. Go ahead and bookmark that website. Just to remind folks, we'll say that a few more times throughout the program. Be sure to check out the website to learn more. Let's go ahead and knock out that break. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
And we're back to the Community Voice. We got Sarah Valdes here with us, certified pediatric nurse practitioner. We've been talking about Tanner Healthcare for Children. Keep your kids healthy this back-to-school season. If you're just tuning in, be sure to check out the full podcast of this episode, which will be uploaded to the station's website, as well as gradicommunications.com. You can also check out the Facebook live stream on our WLBB News Talk 1330 Facebook page, as well as our Gradic Communications YouTube. I could keep going, but I think those are enough. Three opportunities to spread the good word about keeping kids healthy this back-to-school season. All right, Sarah, screen time. We already touched on it. No phones at the dinner table, and that goes for you too, Dad. So during the school year, it can be difficult to balance homework, extracurricular activities, soccer or whatever, and screen time. What advice do you have for families about that?
Yeah. So I would say the biggest thing that I see in the office is having screens in the bedroom. This really impairs sleep. So I would really love if children did not have a TV in their bedroom, and if phones and watches and iPads have a place to sleep that is not their room. We need to be getting our kids off of screens about an hour before bedtime. And again, no screens at the table. They should not have a screen nearby when they're trying to do homework. It's too distracting.
Okay. And they need to stay active, if at all possible. Physically active. Instead of them on the screens, maybe they need to go outside and run around.
Get them outside, yes. So the American Academy of Pediatrics really recommends an hour of physical activity, and like not just walking a leisurely walk, but rigorous activity most days of the week. So a lot of parents are surprised by that number, but I mean, an hour, 5-6 days a week is what we're shooting for.
Dig it. All right. Well, speaking of physicality, backpacks and sports safety, backpacks are getting pretty heavy. You know what I mean? Maybe a little not as heavy as the 90s when everyone had books that were this thick, but they're still heavy. I mean, these laptops and stuff are heavy. So what should parents know to help prevent unnecessary back or shoulder injuries?
So it's important to make sure that you choose a backpack with a wide strap. Teach your children to put both straps on and not just to sling it over one shoulder.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So a child's backpack should weigh about 10% of their body weight. And so that can add up really quickly. Say you have an 80-pound child, that's going to be 8 to 12 pounds, which a few books go in there and you're already there. And then, over the school year, as kids are accumulating all the junk that they like to bring home, that will just add to it. So if you're noticing your child hunching over, I would recommend every Saturday, Sunday, as you're heading back for the week, go through their backpack, get rid of any unnecessary items, and encourage them to keep both straps on as they walk into school.
Absolutely. And for children returning to sports or other activities, let's say they're on some of the sports teams, they're about to go from that, hopefully they've been getting that hour of rigorous activity each day during the week, but let's say they haven't. Let's say they haven't been moving a lot. What are some important safety reminders for parents to share with children returning to these sports and stuff? Yeah.
We want to avoid injury. So if they have not been active, slowly increasing. Maybe let's not start with an hour. Maybe let's start with 15-20 minutes and increase over a few weeks. Making sure that your kid always has a water bottle and that they're staying hydrated, that they're wearing sunscreen, that for whatever activity they're a part of, that if they need a helmet, they need a mouth guard, that they have all that equipment ready to go.
Excellent. Well, we only have about 4 minutes left in the program. So, let's talk about when to call the pediatrician. What parents often wonder, is this something I should call the doctor about, or I've seen signs that say the 5 most dangerous words, or maybe it will go away, what symptoms or situations shouldn't be ignored?
Yeah. So absolutely, a fever under the age of 3 months in a child is you gotta get them seen right away. Generally, a child who's not acting right, they're lethargic, their behavior has changed, they need to be seen. A child who you are concerned might be dehydrated, we also want to get those kids seen pretty quickly. I always tell parents, if this is going to help you sleep at night, even if it's the smallest thing, we are happy to see your children.
Yeah. You guys aren't going to be like, really?
Yeah.
Y'all bugging me with this?
No.
Never.
No.
You guys are great with kids.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can just sort of isolate. When is it appropriate to just monitor symptoms at home? When, of course, if you're at all anxious, come to the doctor. Yes. But is there something you see people get kind of freaked out about that really isn't a big deal usually?
Coughs and congestion, a lot of viral illnesses will linger for a couple weeks. And so if your child has a cough or congestion, but generally they're eating okay, they are not running a fever, they're acting, like themselves for the most part, you can monitor those kids at home pretty well.
Most likely kids are going to be getting some sniffles and coughs and whatever else.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of kids, they'll cough without covering their mouth. They're just right into the teacher's face, so they're going to get some of those. So maybe, that may not be too scary.
Yeah. Cough without any respiratory distress, acting like themselves, stay home.
But as soon as you start getting the congestion,
any kind of respiratory concern, let's get them seen. Yeah. Whether in our office, if you can't get an appointment with us, our urgent care is available on the same floor as our clinic, and they take walk-ins at any time. So
how
either one.
Advantageous. That's perfect. Closing. Because we're pretty much we only have about a minute left. If you could leave parents with one piece of advice for keeping their children healthy and ready to learn for the school year, what would it be?
I'm going to say, I really think your kids just need to know that you love them and that you are there for them, and you can try to implement all these healthy practices, and they are important, but know that no family, no parent, no child is perfect, and let's all give each other some grace as we make some mistakes on the way. But if they know that they are loved and that they are safe in their home, that makes a world of difference for their long-term health.
Perfect. For more information, ladies and gentlemen, on Tanner Healthcare for Children, their office locations, physicians, etc., visit TannerHealthcareForChildren.org. That's TannerHealthcareForChildren.org. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us this morning on the Community Voice.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And to everyone who tuned in at home, be sure to share links to the Facebook Live and the Greta Communications YouTube of our episode with Sarah Valdes, and make sure that your friends and their kids are prepared for the school season. Again, thank you, Sarah. Thank you to everyone who tuned in at home. We'll see you next time.